Hi friends, today we are going to learn about the how to import and how to export and how to export default. These three things we can learn in the functional key components as well as arrow component also. Now one by one we'll look into that. How to import, how to export default. Let's take function key component first. We need to write the code for this function key component. F-U-N-C-T-I-O-N function. This name is just you can copy from here. Control C, Control V, and use the parenthesis and curly brackets. Return value with a div, and within this you can give the h1 tag, and within this you can type this is for import and export and export default video in using function keyword. Yep. Now Control C. How we are going to upload? I mean to say that export default and function key component semicolon. How can we here export default? We are exporting. How we are going to import here? Just type import from within double quotes dot slash. It's going to show components slash, and what is this functional component is selected, and take this one and use as a component in the app component. That's it. And here it is going to execute like this. It is working, and here we exported default, here we imported. In this case, here just again concentrate and understand that here we are exporting default, here importing with the same name, and at the same time you can change the name of your component here. That means alias names. Even though if you make some changes here function name is this one, but here component name is you are exporting this one, but here component name you are renaming. That is the concept of export default. If you follow this export default, you may follow this component name, or you can change the component name while you are importing. So it is working. Check it. Refresh it. It's working. That is the main advantage of this export default. Coming to only export. That you can give here export, export, and here you exported. How you are going to import? Here one error is showing. So here you have to take as it is this component name and use here, and also use here, and also you should keep it in curly brackets, then only it will work. Again I am going to tell you, this export default completed. It is export at the function level, exported. How we can import? With the same function name we should use here, and here at the import level you must use the curly bracket. You can't change the name of your component name, like I'm going to add something try, try, try. Same thing I am giving to this Control V, but look here, still one error is showing. That means it is not allowing. Just look here, it's not allowing. The error is function key component try export imported as like this was not found. It is saying that possible export, you should use this one. He is mentioning funky comp you should use here, but we are not following that one. That's why it is giving error. Go back to previous. Yeah, now it is working fine. It is the advantage of that one. Here you are, whatever function name you are mentioning, same function name you are following here. That is the concept here. What is the advantage of this export function? I mean export only. Export default you can rename the component at the app level, but here you cannot change the, just if you export it you cannot change the function name in the while you are importing. That too you need to keep it in brackets. And what is the advantage of this function key component? That means that the advantage is that Control C, within the same file you can give two more components. For example, this is a tutorial, tutorial. Just you are exporting, Control C and comma, here you can use comma, and Control V, same thing, and same component you can use here, Control V slash, and you can change the this Control C here, just add some kind of word, Control V, just look the output. Yeah, first one is you are looking very linked. I think you can change the, not the export default. Here also it's not an export default, it is just export. It is also export. So look here, yeah, it is imported, exported, something message is there. Otherwise you may give some name also, but the thing is you need to understand this, exporting two components at a time from this file. At the time it is very advantage to import them with the same name, whatever you are sending here, same with the same name only you need to import here and use them in the app component. That is the advantage of export. Only export advantage, that multiple components you can make it ready in the same file. Whereas if you follow that export default, that in that case export default meant for only single file, single export we should use. But you can change the name of your here alias name, I mean rename the here function key, you cannot rename it. Once again I am saying that if you follow this export function only export, there is no default. If you follow this one, you have to give the import them in the curly bracket and the same names, you cannot change it. That is the advantage of this one. But coming to export default, if you use that export default, previously I explained, no, in the export default you can give here some name, only one export default file you can contain only one file, one export default component only applicable. That too here you can rename here while you are importing. Again we'll go back to that, Control Z, export, Control Y. Yeah, see here. Then you can remove, Control Z. Yeah, here default, export default contains one file name, one component. Export default only you can pass only one component, and here you can rename it also, no problem. That is the advantage. You can rename it. Yeah, it will work. Here only one default component you need to pass it in the only one file, that you can rename here, or as it is name also you can use this. That is the advantage of this. Okay, in the next video we'll try to know about this arrow component, how we are going to export and import. This is for only function key, export, import, export default we have seen. Okay, next video we are going to see import, export, export default by using arrow functional component. That's it friends. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.